What is going on, everybody, and welcome. This might be a little bit of difference, but I think a lot of people can understand that 2023 is ending in a few hours right now. 2024 is about to start, and what a better way to enjoy that with the fam. I invited a lot of people, and I got some great starts right here. My name is Oscar Ramos, and in this video, by the end, we'll tell you our recap, the way we saw things played out, and our predictions for crypto, the market, and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you see who I have. Crypto Kid, JB, and Fifth Gear. I invited people on Twitter, on the $1 Crow Party group, on my Discord server, and I'm really happy because there's a lot of people from all different time zones, but I'm so happy that we have here some stars. So I'm gonna shut up for a while and let everyone introduce themselves, starting with Crypto Kid, then JB, and at the end, Fifth Gear, and see what they have to say.
Thank you so much for having me, Oscar. Hi, everybody. I'm Crypto Kip with Crypto Report. Me and my partner Black Sea have been on YouTube for quite a while, almost a year and a half now, talking about crypto in general, crypto.com, and absolutely love Oscar's content. And we've done one or two collaborations in the past. It's good to be back. Talk about all the exciting things that happened this year. Can't wait to kind of get into it and talk a little bit about Crow.
Appreciate it, brother. JB.
Thank you, Oscar. Thank you for having me. Name's JB, lead moderator for the Crow Party, crypto fanatic. Let's talk Crow.
Thank you, JB. Appreciate it. Fifth Gear. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, everyone? Thank you, Oscar, for setting this up. This is fantastic. We all appreciate it. We all appreciate your content. I'm here kind of as a representative of EVS, so I'll be kind of hitting on all the major points of EVS and everything that's going on with them. So it's been a hell of a year, and I'm looking forward to 2024.
Thanks a lot, buddy. I think, the Crow fam, right now, I invited guests from all different specs in crypto space, and something chases us and chases me that the Crow fam is here for the upcoming 2024-2025 year that, it's gonna be, we're gonna be left speechless. And why is that? Well, let's take a lap in the history lane back in 2020. 2021, 2022, and finally right now 2023. In my opinion, 2020, historic, every 100 years pandemic that changed the game. First one that I experienced in my whole life, obviously, and money supply increased drastically, right? Trillions poured in the market. What happened? Stocks, securities, crypto, and a lot of things exploded. Then we reached all-time highs. 2021 came, that created the bull market. What I just explained, in my personal opinion. There's other different factors. That 2021 gave us millionaires, gave us meme coins like never seen before. Dogecoin gave us a little bit of Shiba Inu. Then 2022 came, the bear market. Wow. And then that's a place where a lot of people left the industry. Like in the famous words of Chris Marsalek, the previous Hong Kong week, it was clean up, which is much needed to get rid of all the trash in a way, or the bad projects. 2023 is coming up. All the building has been working for the last couple of years. We finally see the result as we're getting closer to a Bitcoin ETF approval. I made a couple of updates, and I'm always reading of what JP Morgan, Coinbase, BlackRock, and the rest are doing. 2024, Bitcoin halving. So many different things. That's kind of what's going on right now in my head, just to get us introduced. Crypto Kid, what do you think?
Well, I love the recap. I love the recap, Oscar, and I think it's spot on. Now, it's an interesting thing that we've got a bull cycle, except we don't have a pandemic, at least yet, knock on wood, right? So the last bull cycle was interesting. Just for everybody out there, I don't know how familiar you are with me or where I've been in the space, but I've been in since 2016. And so watching Dogecoin come up, watching Shiba Inu come up, and now watching this meme coin mania come up, leading into this Bitcoin spot ETF, which is a huge event on its own. This is a really interesting time, and we had this crazy bull market in the last cycle that was paused by the pandemic. And then I believe that caused this strange double top thing that we had in the last bull cycle. This bull cycle is going to be incredibly unique. These markets have been extremely frothy. Everybody is chasing the 10x, 100x gains already, and we haven't even begun in this bull cycle. We are 5% loaded maybe in this bull cycle, and the spot Bitcoin ETF is going to be approved. I think everybody needs to be excited for that, but I also think right now the whole community kind of needs to take a breath and realize it's okay if there's little dips right now. It's okay if we have a buy the news event or a sell the news event with the spot Bitcoin ETF, a little dip. For the Crow fam out there, we need to understand a couple things. I'm gonna wrap this up real quick. One, you said that the bear market comes and everything kind of goes downhill, and Chris Marsliak talks about cleanup. Well, during this cleanup phase, all the advertising partnerships for crypto.com stayed in place. That's fantastic, right? Also, note that the Cronos chain launched in, I think it was November of 2021. That's the peak of the bull market, guys. $3 billion in total value locked up in the Cronos chain at the peak of the bull market, and then the big crash happens. This chain hasn't even seen the exposure that it's about to see. A spot Bitcoin ETF is going to bring institutional money into this space, and Cronos is definitely going to pick up some of those dollars. Patience is key. Volatility is crypto. Get ready.
Appreciate it, Crypto Kip. Yeah, there's many angles, right? And right now, as this group is, gears towards the crypto.com, Cronos chain, and more users. That's important. We're 80 million. We're gonna be reaching 100 million soon. JB is one of those users, and he has been my admin on the $1 Crow Party group. We just reached 700 members, and the idea is because to celebrate that 10x, which is easy. A lot of people have said it, to $1. JB, what's on your mind right now as we're ending 2023? How are your plays doing? Where are you putting your portfolio? How are you doing in this one?
I think I agree with Crypto Kip. I mean, these ETFs, once they kick in, it's just gonna be a catalyst upwards. Cronos, this is, in all intents and purposes, going to be its first major bull run at the start, rather than, like you said, at the end or the middle, wherever it came in. So, it's going to skyrocket. Cronos, the Crow token, that's undervalued. We all know that. Once the people, see the hype, see everything exploding, all the markets exploding, they're going to jump on a platform which is straight away easy to use. And for me, that's crypto.com. It's fast, it's efficient. All right, it has this one or two issues, but on the whole, if somebody is a newbie like myself, somebody that comes off the street and says, I want to invest in crypto, where do I go? Crypto.com. It's simple, it's easy to use. You can connect your accounts to it, you can put your money straight onto the platform itself, start buying and trading instantly. So when people realize that, people are going to come on board. I reckon Crow will hit $1. I see going further than that. Then you got the likes of Tectonic and the other tokens those are sleepers. You've heard me, you've read what I've written in the Crow Party. I'm always vocal about that. Tectonic's going to be brilliant. VBS in the long term will be brilliant as well. When these markets start cycling, your first ETF launches, boom, that's one catalyst. Second one, third one, fourth one, sky's the limit.
Appreciate that, JB. I just cannot even contain my excitement. There you go. Once the first one comes in, because once the first one comes in, everybody's gonna ape in. Everybody's gonna be just boom, right? So soon, few more days, we should be having a response. Now you mentioned Cronos chain, and well, thankfully, we got one representative right now with us that knows a lot about the main decentralized exchange inside Cronos chain. Is an ambassador, 5th year, and I mean, to me, VVS has a special place in my heart and in my portfolio because it was the first protocol that I learned in Cronos That's really, really exciting. Oh, we got one more person, Mr. Wong, which is great. Welcome, welcome. We'll get to you in just a second, buddy. So, Cronos Chain VVS, tell us, buddy, how this protocol has played out in your portfolio in this year 20.
Yeah, so I've been in VVS since it released. I think it was November of 21. And obviously there was some pretty heavy downplay of price action, but that's okay. I knew that the release of the token, there would be some hardships, but it's been fantastic for my portfolio so far. And quite honestly, it's the number one DEX on Cronos, in my opinion. And I think it's the most safest investment. And I think it's absolutely fantastic. You have all the IGOs, all the LP on the Cronos chain flows through VVS. So it's a huge deal for Cronos chain and for crypto.com. It's a massive thing. And anyone that has any crazy questions or suggestions or anything, please go to the VVS Discord, leave them on there, or talk to me on Twitter or any of the other ambassadors. But we're always here to help.
Appreciate that a lot, buddy. We have a lot of competition, when it comes to the Cronos chain. We are at close to $400 million in TVL as of right now. CryptoKip mentioned a top of 3 billion. It was actually 4 point something billion. It was higher than that. So we are 10x less of the price that we were, of the TVL that we were back in the day. But now we have way more things, and that should make us a little bit more bullish. But realistically speaking, most of the other chains are also going to do very well, and that's what we want. We're all looking for the first billion on-chain users, and Cronos Chain, in my humble opinion, not financial advice, also do very well. And through BVS, Tectonic, and many others that we're going to have a chat as well, we should be good. Mr. Wong is in the chat. He is another member, top member inside the $1 Crow Party group. He's been providing a lot of great content and value. What's going on, buddy? Just a quick introduction about yourself. How is 2023 playing out for you right now?
What's going on? Is the audio working correctly? No, it's the page just updated. Okay, cool. Yeah. Thank you for having me as always. It's been an adventure in the Telegram, which has been a lot of fun helping new users figure DeFi and CDC and just the Cronos way. I've been in this market for, I don't know, what, 10 years now, early Bitcoiner. So this is my third bear market. And so there's a lot to learn, but it always stays true of dollar cost average, buying small chunks and do it over time, and long-term holding. That's still the strategy here.
Appreciate that, Mr. Wong. That's true. Wow. So then when Lambo, we should be asking you that question then, because you've been here with us for a while. I was here since 2021, so I think you should have already.
Maybe we should ask how many Lambo.
How many Lambos, right? Like, come on. Probably at that time you have no idea that Bitcoin is going to go to $20,000 in one rally. You're like, this token, somebody paid $10,000 for a pizza. Nah, I shouldn't be buying it. But I get you, bro. It's hard to believe now. Okay, guys. So happy to have more crowdfund members. And to whoever is watching this as a new user, you're getting excited about crypto.com. You're getting excited about crypto, about this new year. Just know that all of us, we were once in your shoes. Didn't know anything. We thought we were going to lose all our money. We didn't know anyone. But on X, you start following people, you start listening, you start collaborating. And I think that's a better way to go about your crypto journey. So highly encourage you to do that as well. Now, 2023, let's all get let's actually wrap up the 2023 recap. And what a better way to do it than with our top plays, crypto plays, NFT, can be NFTs, top NFT, crypto, or anything DeFi plays in 2023. think about it for a second. I'll go ahead and start. In my case, 2023, let me go ahead and mute you for a little bit. Fifth gear, there you go. In my case, 2023 was about accumulation. So 2022 bear market destroyed a lot of people. But because I was buying, my 2023 positions were growing just organically. I can tell you my Bitcoin is high and it's up right now. My Ethereum is up right now. XRP is up right now. My Cronos, we've been buying 5 cents, 6 cents, 7 cents. So that's already a 2x for my Cronos right now. Tectonic and BBS Finance, they're not as higher as they were used to, but still accumulating. LUNC, that's another token play. It's kind of like on the fence, sideways trading, but still holding a little bit right now. One that I want to give a shout out to is Shiba Inu. Because Shiba Inu, if you've been buying in the last couple of months and 2022, you will find yourself at a decent level right now, as we're also expecting, Ethereum that's live, more burns, and upcoming rallies ahead for Shiba Inu. So pretty excited for that one. And I think the new ones, those are my biggest regrets. Bonk, don't have any bonk, zero bonk. So, hey, sorry, mom. Didn't get any bonk, right? I know maybe some of you got bonk and you're looking at me like, it is what it is. Corgi AI, I'm going to let some of you speak about, of course, too. Go ahead. But there's so many plays. I have my winners. I'm staking them. I'm holding. I'm seeing my portfolio grow, and I'm happy. Crypto Kid.
All right. So, man, I'll tell you one thing for Cronos. Let's start with Cronos. Corgi AI has been certainly exciting. You mentioned Bonk, Oscar. Bonk was the thrill of everybody's life. I was like you though. I didn't get in on the Bonk. I think my partner on the channel, Black Sea, has made a couple videos on. He did a tremendous job on the Bonk token. And I let it go by the wayside. I was one of those silly guys that was scared that Solana was a dead chain. What a silly concept. At the end of the day, people want to complain that it's inflationary. What's popular is popular. What's popular is popular. People are going to buy what people want to buy.
Same as Pepe. Like it exploded, and who can predict the utility of no utility, but just exploded.
Exactly. And there's no reason Dogecoin or Shiba Inu should. And now Shiba Inu's got Shibarium, right? And so now there's utility being born into that. But Corgi AI was very exciting for the Cronos chain. This is the biggest project in the entire picture of crypto. Corgi AI is the number one thing for Cronos, even more so than the Cronos coin, in my opinion, in terms of media attention. It's a billboard that says a Cronos project. So like Bonk was attracting users for the Solana chain, I think Corgi AI is going to be spectacular for that. Outside of the Cronos chain, though, which is still in its infancy, and you look at, Kaching and all these other small tokens, Minted's only, I think, a $15 million market cap, the NFT marketplace on Cronos. You've got the Ebisu Bay, which I think is like a $2 million market cap, a lot of really infantile coins that could easily have 50, 100 X's if, this bull market really gets kicking into gear and the Cronos chain gets attracted. Outside of Cronos, I'm really hot in the BRC20 action right now as well. I think that people are building on Bitcoin for the first time. A lot of people don't like that idea. A lot of people got a lot of pushback against that because it's slow, it's more expensive. I get that. But at the same time, Bitcoin is Bitcoin. So I'm diving into that. And you talked about being new, Oscar, and people not knowing and understanding things. I feel that way about BRC20 right now. And so I'm diving into this for the very first time. And so if you're diving into Cronos for the first time or BRC20 or anything crypto, just crypto for the first time, patience is key. Constant research is essential. And looking at a bunch of different opinions and formulating your own is really the only way you're going to be successful. Are you going to make mistakes along the way? Absolutely. I've made 1,000. I've also made 1,000 great plays too. And you're going to have a lot of fun. Do your own research, have some fun, guys. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now. That's where my mind's at.
Appreciate it, Crypto Kev. Great place. And I like this. I was watching one of your lives and you were, going through the BRC20 stuff and the wallets that you're now putting in. And that's good because sometimes the plays nobody knows are the ones that whales love. JB, biggest plays 2023. How's your portfolio ending up right now?
Portfolio, it took a hit. It did take a hit was it 2022, the FTX debacle? All that, it brought the market down. But 2023, Pepe, yes, I've got to agree with that. I mean, watching that was just a mad show. But let's just drop it to Cronos. I'm up. I'm happy. Tectonic, I'm up. I'm happy. It's green. VVS up, happy, green. Corgi AI, the poster boy or poster girl, whatever you want to call it. That will lead people to crypto.com. There's a lot coming for Cronos in 2024. There's going to be a lot of hype in 2024. That is 100%. Lunar Classic, down. That needs a change of guard. The moment they change the guard, the moment they don't have validators dictating what they can and can't do, it's coming back up. Loki is one. That's really good. That will be coming up as well, in my opinion. I do think that patience is key. We will see a few dips. We will see some manipulation. We will see someone else trying to, make it all go red, just so they can cash in and then buy in at the bottom end. But you just need to hold your ground. As long as you've diversified, coming into 2024, your stacks are ready and primed. I think it'll be a great show in 2024. That's for my 2023.
Appreciate that, JB. No, I mean, for sure. I think, when it comes to Floki, when it comes to Pepe and other plays are, sometimes you cannot even predict them and they drop a lot. They continue coming back up because that's what the community wants. That's what the new community comes in and needs. And we'll see how 2024 ends for them, especially Binance, which is a key player for Pepe and for LUNC. Fifth Gear, biggest place of 2023. How's your portfolio doing?
Oh my goodness. So I would say the middle of summer, not too good, little down. And this last quarter, everything has been green. It's been fantastic. It is absolutely raining money for me right now. And that's all probably leading with Corgi AI. That has been a fantastic token. I don't know if you guys have gotten into the IGO, but that has been an absolute gold mine for anyone that got into it. BVS token has been fantastic. It's been going up for me. Cronos token, obviously. Tectonic has been amazing. And then the Crow ID token, that had a pretty good green month and a half. So there's a lot of the Cronos chain tokens that have been going up recently. In my opinion, I think alt season is kind of hitting a little hard, and I love it.
Appreciate that a lot, Fifth Gear. I mean, you are one of those who are, you're really in depth when it comes to the DeFi space and you know what's going on. And you mentioned those IGOs. I was there back in 2022. I left it because I was kind of, doing other stuff. But now I'm going back as I'm going all in once again and putting a lot of money in those IGOs, in BVS mines, and Tectonic supply as well. So I think it's a great strategy for anyone who's watching and seeing how can I do that. There's tons of updates, videos, tutorials on YouTube and also from Cronos. So just go ahead and follow and you're going to be good. But also just remember that there's other different DeFi plays and other different chains that are also doing really well, right? It's not only Cronos, but like I've said in one of my first videos back in 2022, this is the first time I do DeFi and I feel really safe doing it with Cronos, although I know Cronos chain, the organization, is not responsible for any rock pool, whatever any other protocol comes in with. Like, I'm not going to mention names, right? But once you are in a decentralized ecosystem like Cronos chain or Solana or Ethereum, whatever, you have to do your research. You have to really dig down and see who's behind this project. So you feel who is really behind, the most trusted, and that's where you could put your money in as well. Mr. Wong, biggest plays, biggest regrets of 2023, so our audience knows how to move this 2024.
Oh, no regrets, no regrets. So like I said, I've been here for a very long time. So I'm probably more conservative with my plays from what I've been hearing so far. Um, I just been reinvesting into Crow, and the coin it is at 5 cents. It was a bargain, and I loaded up heavy down there, even though I was buying last time around 50, 60 cents, just like everybody else, right? Before we had that massive run up. And so we took huge hits there, but we've seen the swings, we've seen the market change, we've seen the adoption, we've seen crypto.com's compliance, we've seen good things for the space. So good things are coming, and as long as you have that vision, Cronos will still take care of you. Even at 10 cents here, it's at a bargain. I'm still loading up. It's still not time to be in that holding phase or into that dollar cost average back out, which is very important as well, which we're trying to teach the new members what that actually is. But learning from experience, that's the hard knocks is where you really take those lessons sometimes. So I always preach dollar cost average in, never invest more than you can afford to lose, and stick with the big guys if you're unsure. But just to comment on some of the other projects in Cronos, so Corgi AI, of course, we've seen massive run-ups from that, which has been amazing. Especially if you've been dollar cost averaging here at the bottom when everybody was fearful, right? So we made some good gains there. Looking at the charts earlier today, looks like there's still a lot of fear of we're not seeing new money come in, and we see this kind of decline going back to the support levels, which I'll probably draw out a little bit later and share in the Telegram. But that's kind of what the kind of sentiment is. So like we're back into full Crow mode, and we haven't pivoted back into Tectonic and Corgi AI. Tectonic looked green for today, so we're re-evaluating position there. But yeah, it's for me, it's really the long-term plays is still Ethereum, Bitcoin, Crow. I have a little bit of Shiba Inu because I got in a little bit early, but most of my assets are in the stable coins. With the news of the spot ETF coming at the beginning of the year, there's just huge buzz around crypto right now. And it's to kind of hold on to your bags and kind of dollar cost average in and kind of load those bags up and get ready for the bull market for 2024.
That's the mentality of someone who has been doing this for the last 3 times. So I like that. Seem very focused on that, which is really good. Now we're all Crow center here, and I love that, which is the spirit of fortune favors the brave. But let's pause that for a second. Let's put Crow aside. Let's pick one crypto, not Crow related, one crypto that you are the most bullish on, or what's gonna happen in the next years, next months, next few days. The most bullish crypto, no Cronos related. And I want to start with Crypto Kip, then JB, Fifth Gear, Mr. One, and I'll be the one at the end.
Oh boy. There's a lot of money in Bitcoin. $850 billion. That's a lot of money. And a spot Bitcoin ETF is coming. Could there be a sell the news event on that? Absolutely. I think your stablecoin play, my brother, is pretty decent down there. There's a risk that money flows in and you miss some upside. But you know what? If you got a big stack, who cares about missing upside as long as you not get wrecked by the downside? My strategy is buying through the fall of 2024. I believe the bull cycle will continue into 2025. I'll continue putting my money in until about 2024 in the fall, and then I'll start shuffling profits aside. But Bitcoin has $850 billion with it, and people are inscribing NFTs and tokens on the Bitcoin blockchain. The total value of the ERC20 market caps right now is upwards of 150. Maybe it's about $200 billion. The BRC20 market caps are less than $10 billion. Think about those numbers. And I say all that to say, I guess I'll pick the biggest coin in the BRC20 space and say, I think that Ordinals is going to be an absolutely explosive token in this bull market. I think there's going to be a lot of other BRC20 tokens out there that have, first of all, they need to get utility. A lot of them are scams. A lot of them are memes. You got to be careful, guys. You got to do the research. But the big ones, the established ones, the ones that stand the test of time and become the most popular on Bitcoin, I think all those early Bitcoin adopters, those big whales, those ones that manipulate the market, the ones that have wallets in every corner of the globe, they're going to be shuffling some money into these BRC20 plays, maybe even to the SRC20 plays, building on Bitcoin. It's the most secure. It's the one that stood the test of time. I think ordinals could be huge.
So I will say Bitcoin for you.
Well, ordinals,
Or
Ordi
ordinals.
token.
Ordi. Okay. Very good. I like that. JB.
Hello there. One token of 2024 wasn't planned, but Walk token. It's an XRP killer.
Walk token. What is that one? Tell me just a little bit because I don't know.
We all love crypto. It's a British token. It owns its own utility. So it's RTP real-time payment system for the FX market banking software. Okay, so that's one utility it owns. The second one is a rum brand, which is should be coming out in the next 6 months, endorsed by a UFC world champion. But this is the token that I have loaded up on. It's gonna literally XRP killer is the short end of it.
XRP killer. So let's not show this video to the XRP army because they're gonna unsubscribe right now if they see. Oh wow, XRP killer. Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and after this, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at Walt just to know and to our audience. That's the beauty of this because there's millions of tokens right now in the market, millions, and just one of them can change your financial life forever. JB, Walt token then, right?
Walk token it is for me, 100%.
Appreciate it. Fifth
Thank you.
year.
Well, everyone knows that I'm a Cronos maxi, and that's just me. That's my play. But I'd have to go with Bitcoin because one, there's 21 million of them. Two, the Bitcoin ETF I think is going to make that price absolutely positively explode. I don't know what the high would be. I don't know, maybe $250,000 per token, higher, 500,000 a token. And then that's what I'm looking at. And also too, once like BlackRock and Van Eck and Fidelity all start throwing their money in there, I mean, the sky's the limit. That's my opinion.
I mean, when you have, it's like for our early crypto and the early blockchain users and adopters right now, obviously we know that eventually some other securities will be used maybe for payments in different countries like XRP, maybe Crow or BNB, whatever, some of the major or even stable coins. But for right now, as the world is seeing what Bitcoin is and El Salvador and other different countries are adopting digital assets, Bitcoin is the one better positioned. Bitcoin is the one that's the one receiving the most attention, and being bullish in Bitcoin, especially if you bought cheap. I mean, biggest returns, right? Ahead of you for early cash in the end of 2020s. Because the beginning of 2030s, I mean, maybe that's a new token. Maybe Ethereum actually passed Bitcoin. Who knows, right? I mean, things can change. But right now, if you want to have some delicious, massive cash flow, I think, yes, 100% agree. Bitcoin is one of those that's very well positioned. Mr. Wong, what's yours? You got a new ones for us?
Well, as always, the stable coins as the top three, as Bitcoin, as we hear here, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cronos. But I guess my outlier that I see kind of accelerating in the next bull cycle is Stellar XLM. And the reason for that is compatibility across the world. So interfacing with, say, lower income countries, say Thailand on that side of the world, where because I know this because my wife is over there, and sending money over there is much easier on Stellar, cheaper, less fees, faster, better than Bitcoin and Ethereum, as congested as that may sound, you know what I mean? So Stellar has its application. It's been doing well for this year. It it was kind of undervalued and maybe a bit suppressed during the XRP SEC kind of lawsuit and kind of relationship there. But now that's all kind of cleared. I feel like compliance is the name of the game as always, and I feel like once they reach those hurdles of defeating kind of these lawsuits and these suppression tools of the industry that is kind of like going around right now, I think once utility comes forth, I think some of these coins are really gonna rocket.
Stellar. Thank you very much, buddy. That's a good one. When you mention XRP, oftentimes you have excellent Stellar like right next to it, right? I mean, and I've seen other YouTubers talking about XRP and they have XRP Stellar. I'm like, okay, I see what it is. So I don't have any Stellar. I've heard about Stellar, and one of the best examples to showcase value is exactly what you said. I don't use it, but you use it and it works for you, and it's better than Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that's great. I mean, I love it. I mean, that's the utility we need for the 21st century digital assets. Okay, I'm the one left, and mine, it's the same one for the last couple of years. Cardano, ADA, Cardano, of course, Cardano, guys. If Cronos wasn't here, Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, I met the guy. It's not because I took a picture with him, right? But I listened to the guy. I mean, it's hard not to pay attention, right? Cardano was position 50 TBL years ago. Take a look right now. It's past Cronos. I'm like, no. But in a way, I'm happy. I have my Yoroi wallet. I actually used to be, I used to have my complete 100% node on my computer. I deleted it because it's just too heavy. And to log in, to stake, it was a mess. But anyway, Yoroi was better now. The point is, I think Cardano, the Cardano army, oh man. It's maybe right next to close to XRP because the XRP army is also huge, but the Cardano army is quiet. But once it explodes, you're not gonna shut them up. Haven't talked about Cardano too much in the channel, honestly, but based on everything that I've seen, the conversations Charles Hoskinson always says, we know when it comes to Bitcoin, he is one of those who will tell you, why hold Bitcoin? That it lacks all of this. And even though, I mean, like Crypto Kid was mentioning about the ordinals and the BRC20, they're trying to add more because there's a reason why there's Ethereum because of the shortfalls of Bitcoin. And then the shortfalls of Ethereum, that's why we have our proof of stake ones and so on and so forth. But Cardano, I think, providing the economic identity in some African countries and the partnerships that we've seen so far in the last couple of years, the man behind the project, Charles Hoskinson, the papers, the publications, the research, and the decent supply, I'm bought. That's
I
the
love
one
that.
yeah, I mean, that's really the one that I like it. The NFTs, and this is gonna piggyback to my next big question. But the NFTs as well on the market, they made me money back in the day, which I was pretty excited. Buying at mint, selling 5-7x the price and making profit. I'm like, great, right? So that's the craziness of non-fungible tokens. So we got Bitcoin ORD, we have Walk, we have Bitcoin, if I'm not mistaken, and we have Stellar. So, and of course, Cardano. And let me know if you guys are watching still here. Appreciate you are doing so in the comments. What is your favorite token, favorite crypto project, most bullish on? With to smash the like button and consider subscribing, please. Now, non-fungible tokens. Oh man, those crazy non-fungible tokens, and I think Fifth Gear it's representing very well right now, guys. Some of you may like it, some of you may don't really embrace them that much, and that's fine. When I ask my community about NFTs, it's like 30% like it, 70% are like, I don't want to know about it, which is fine. But NFTs, what is the most bullish project you are right now? And what made you a lot of good capital, or just a community, something that you want to share to the public that happened in 2023? Crypto Kid.
Well, that happened in 2023. I think it's hard to debate anything except for the fact that Solana was probably the place to be for NFTs in general. I was not. My partner on the channel Black Sea, he did capitalize on that very, very well. A couple projects I know, Solana Monkey Business. He picked up one of those real low in the bear market, and some Clanosaurs as well, which is a new project. We actually went to an event in New York for Clanosaurs, and I got my first Solana NFT, a little piece of pizza, just part of the ecosystem. Anyway, that's been pretty successful. But into 2024, I'll tell you the one that I'm looking at and that I want in on that I haven't gotten yet, and we'll see how it goes, is kind of in line with my ordinals bullishness. I want a Bitcoin punk. Elon Musk himself said that NFTs aren't as valuable as the inscribed NFTs on the Bitcoin blockchain. It's just a little more valuable. It's permanently ingrained in the blockchain of Bitcoin. It makes me bullish on the Bitcoin punks. Crypto punks are huge. I don't think crypto punks are going to go anywhere. I don't think that it's competition per se, but I just think that ordinals are going to be big. That's why I'm bullish on Ordi, and I think that the Bitcoin punks could absolutely be explosive in this next cycle. I think that to the Cronos thing, you know, we'll get some smiles out there. Loaded Lions have had a journey. Crypto.com dips their toe in a lot of different ponds, which is fantastic. They've got some work to do on the Crypto.com NFT front. I think the Cronos chain and some of the Cronos projects have done better. But most bullish for 2024, I think a Bitcoin punk is going to do really well. There's a lot of ecosystems. I want a Bitcoin punk is what I'm saying.
So I think we all heard you. Hey, that's really good. I think having someone like you with that mindset of Bitcoin is really what the space needs. Because when it comes to NFTs, sky is the limit too. That's another thing that you cannot really put in a 2+2 equation. It's just so fluid, right?
Well, real quick too.
Oh, go for
real
it.
quick. A Bitcoin punk is right now at a floor of $5,000, and I don't know what the floor price of a Bitcoin punk is. $5,000. I don't know what the floor of a crypto punk is, but I think it's about $100,000 or something like that. No reason a Bitcoin punk shouldn't get that high in my mind. We'll see.
We'll see. Oh man, JB.
Oscar, NFTs. I have got one. It's a Lunar Classic. Lunar Sapiens, I think it was. It's all right. I mean, personally for myself, I'll be looking forward to walks for next year. But for this year, the Dark Lions, I mean, the artwork on that's phenomenal. I mean, everybody's loaded lions, but everybody loves a villain. I love a villain, so for me, it'd have to be Dark Lions. I mean, the artwork's awesome, amazing. Hopefully, it does wonders for Cronos. What I did want to add quickly was this time, Crypto.com, there's no FUD, there's no maliciousness, they got all the regulations. This bull run's going to be phenomenal, guys. I'm telling you that now. Prior to that, they had so much mud slung at it. Chris and all the team, they've done a wonderful job. They've got rid of all that. They've shown the proofs. Here we are, boys. Just on the cusp of something new. Yeah. So, no. Saying that, Dark Lions, saying that, walk. That's me done for NFTs, guys. Thank you.
There you go. Straight to the point and clear. Dark Lions, right? So I'll also expand on that one too. Fifth year. I mean, when it comes to DeFi, what has 2023 NFTs done for you, and what are the most bullish on?
Well, everyone here knows what I'm going to start with. I mean, come on, everyone knows. So the VBS miner moles, they've been fantastic for me. You can stake them in the V2 farms on VBS for an increase in boosted rewards. So it's just an amazing amount of utility. And you can also stake them on Minted for Corgi AI tokens. which is super duper crazy hot right now. And then there's some VVS gotcha game for Web3 that's gaining popularity. It's pretty big. But for me, there's a couple of them, and I'm kind of a NFT lover of NFTs. In fact, I love them too much. That's my problem. You got the VVS minor moles. You have the DG Pals, which is a fantastic Web3 game. If you guys would love to get into it, it's fantastic. You have the Cronos Cruisers, which hopefully they release their game soon, but they have some utility with Minted as well. And then you have the Eyeball Games, which is fantastic. If you guys are fans of pool, look them up. But there's so many NFTs. There's not enough time. But I would definitely, if you don't have one yet, buy a minor mole.
I want to.
Oh, it's worth it, man. It is worth it.
Can I ask a question on the minor mole real quick while we got it? When you stake a minor mole, I see the rewards. Like, how much money are you making in, say, a year? What's like your actual APY from one minor mole on Corgi right now?
Well, it depends on the mole. But usually my boosted rewards is for one mole for my epic mole, it's like $10 a week, roughly. And it all depends on the rarity of the mole and the experience you have with that mole. And there's some documentation on the VVS Discord if you want to take a look at that, just to make that more clear for you. I'm not going to get into it here, but there's a lot of different things that go to that.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Figure. Obviously, VVS Minor Moles or Tectonic as well. They all have their own NFT collection, and well, the more the better. If I had a Matt member here, they will tell me about the trees, about this and that. I mean, it really gets exciting, when it comes to every single blockchain having its own NFT brand, and we love it. Mr. Wong, I think we all can see. We all can see some of those. Tell us, biggest NFT, most bullish on, and the collection that's been killing it for you in 2023.
I think 2023 was a tough time for NFTs for everybody. I think everybody kind of pulled away from it as the market kind of fell. But for me, is always Cronos projects. The minor moles are great. The dark lines that are coming. I'm a long-term mint loaded line minter, if you call it that. Originally stood in line for hours while the website had all its issues, but still got my loaded line and held on to this day. Really just the dark lines. Cronos is just the way of compliance future, in my opinion. And so for passive income, if you're looking for that, I mean, staking in the Cronos DeFi is the way. The 7.5% on a validator or in Vino or something like that, you just can't beat. And it's daily. You can compound this. It's not like you're waiting every month for this to like cycle for you to get actually a deposit. This is the compounding that makes sense. And if you're kind of savvy on following the market and stacking and compounding, you can do quite well there. Of course, NFTs, this is the ADA space right here that's on the wall. This has been a rug. Of course, there are those as well, so be very careful in the NFT space. Always verify your contracts and where you're buying these NFTs from. It's very easy to get your wallet compromised as well, syncing to the wrong websites. Like, be very careful. Stay on the known websites for Ibis Bay. However you say Ibisus Bay for Cronos, OpenSea, Minted. The trusted exchanges and NFT swaps there. So if you are in the NFT space, those where I would be. But right now, I'm kind of staying away from the NFT space and waiting for the money to kind of trickle into Bitcoin and Ethereum, because that's where the first wave of new money always comes, and waiting for that cycle. And then once that kind of loads up, everybody will kind of wonder, what can I do with my crypto? What do I do in this space? And then the money starts to flow, as it always does, into the other projects. And we haven't seen that wave there yet. So as my stance is still accumulation. NFTs, I would definitely keep an eye on it. If the crypto punks, the Bored Apes, the staples, the very first NFTs that kind of define this space, those are always a safe bet, I think, long term. They have great communities and future plans and roadmaps and things to do with their assets. So those are very interesting. But for now, I'm still just watching NFTs and waiting for the right project. And I think CDC has the right idea with the rewards and the extra perks that you get from holding the loaded lion, because that extra rewards plus tier, you get a +1 for holding a lion. I mean, that's huge. Especially if you don't have those badges that they require now to get to certain levels of, you have to trade a certain amount of money on the platform before you can even get to those tiers. So those NFTs are just an automatic boost. And I think the Dark Lions will have some application there as well for card holders. I think that's how they're going to try and attract more people to come back to CDC and their debit card and credit card services, because they're great in my opinion. I've been a long-term pro staking on the platform for the debit card, and it's for me it's amazing. The cashback is still great. Stacking crow at these low levels. 2024 is looking great for Cronos in my opinion.
That's exactly what I like to hear. I mean, NFTs, non-fungible tokens, how many? There's so many more. Maybe, I mean, there's a lot of tokens, millions of projects, but NFTs, you cannot put a number on that. I mean, you're talking maybe billions at this point. Guys, the collection that I think is gonna do the biggest for me is Dark Lions. I updated all my community that I have 10 now of them. I really aped on the Dark Lions. I have only all the money, right? I have only one loaded lion that I bought at a price of $1,300, and I'm gonna hold that for years to come. It's more like my membership pass to the loaded lions, right? Other than an investment, but I know later on it's gonna be much worth more. Um, I had my time with NFTs back in 2022 as well, with Cardano, with Solana. I was using my stepping. I was walking every day. I was just doing a lot of things with NFTs. Also, I mean, kind of adding to NFT helium mining too. So I was testing so many different things. But NFTs can break you just like this. NFTs can immediately make you regret what you did. So it's always kind of good to come back to crypto because NFTs, if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know who's behind it, the admin, docs, or whatever, then there's so many risks involved. But as of now, place I want to buy my NFTs, keep my conscience clean and at peace, crypto.com. Crypto.com and Cronos. I know something happens, I'm gonna call Chris and tell what in the world are you doing. I mean, that's as fast to get a customer response as possible, right? Like, I trust crypto.com. They're not gonna ever rug us, and that we're gonna be holding something that at least gonna have some decent value later on. So Dark Lions for me, I think it's gonna be fantastic. Now, it's a great segue as we are about and starting to conclude this awesome conversation. 2023 recap, 2024 predictions. The biggest lesson learned, the biggest regret, the biggest issue, the biggest failure we had in 2023. What happened and what do you do to fix it? What was the lesson that you took from that, right? Because I mean, we all make mistakes. And I think if our listeners are watching right now and say, okay, yeah, tell me what not to do, that's exactly the value they wanna get it from here, right? So I'll start because I already know it, but I'll let you guys, think about that one, right? The biggest one. In my case was because I feel so powerless because I did my research. In my case was not reading the signs fast enough because my money is now locked, froze, and I cannot withdraw from these places that are either going bankrupt or they got sued or they just all of a sudden are in problems with the government. And I'm talking about Gemini Earn, and I'm talking about how to investing. A lot of people fall into the traps of FTX, of BlockFi, of Celsius, and I can go on and on. That was my biggest. Like I was like, oof, not FTX, oof, no BlockFi, okay, no Celsius. Like I was like, check, check, check. I'm good, but how to invest? I did my research. They were backed by BitGo. They were backed by this, and this. But one issue with the main holdings or whatever lender they had, and immediately they blocked withdrawals, and all my money there is just sitting down, and I can do anything. Thankfully, the CEO is still giving updates. It's not like I'm out, goodbye, and my money's gone. It's just pending litigation, pending court, pending everything, and I don't know when I will see that money again. But that was my biggest regret. That was my biggest lesson, that I'm no longer gonna be putting money, a lot of money, into great staking from places that I don't really fully see a lot of activity. But thankfully, diversification is key. Not all my money is gone. I mean, I've still got, so obviously I'm fine, but there's good money there that I will wish to be closer to me. But in this case, that was something that I've learned this year, and I'm happy that happened to me right now instead of holding 10 times that value and, seeing that problem, which that would have hurt more. Crypto Kid.
No, great lesson, Oscar. DeFi is important for that very reason. Less of the centralized actors, less of the legal, all these things that happened with the Gemini and all these other exchanges, these big players that a lot of YouTubers were doing sponsored content from these guys. These people looked legitimate, and this just highlights the importance of DeFi. It's peer-to-peer, verifiable on the blockchain. That's why we're here. But even in DeFi, and here's my big mistake. Look, I've been in this market since 2016, and I'd be lying to you if I said sometimes I don't roll the dice a little bit, okay? So you know what? We're all rolling the dice a little bit sometimes, and you know what? I bought this silly PSYOP thing. It's such a bad play. Oh my gosh. What a bad idea. And so I got murdered on the PSYOP. And just pivoting from this thing, if you don't know what that is, I'm just talking about meme token manias, guys. I even just got murdered in the Solana meme token mania as well. I was late to the party. Even if you were early to the party, you were probably still a loser. 99% of you were. Don't lie to yourselves. Don't lie to anybody out there. It is almost impossible to be one of those people that catches 1000x. You can catch a quick 2x, you can catch a quick 5x, but by the time you see it on Twitter, you're probably too late. And so I want to share this lesson with you guys. Yeah, I gambled some money. I lost a little money in the Ethereum meme coin mania we had around the Pepe times, around the PSYOP thing, and all this other stuff. Now the Solana meme coin things. I got again a little bit with some of my gambling bags, if you want to call it that, right? I've got my meme token mania gambling portfolio. I've got my swing trading portfolio, which has been a lot of fun lately with Cronos ID and Corgi. Yeah, I've been killing it on some of that in the Cronos chain, trading on the DeFi side. And then I've got my long-term holding portfolio, which is your staple coins. If you're new, guys, learn from my lesson, just like you can learn from Oscar's lesson. Diversification is key. But in my point here, don't invest more than you're willing to lose, which in my case, I didn't. I was willing to lose that stuff. I knew what I was doing. Do I still regret it? Yeah, but that's okay. You make mistakes sometimes. If I had to go back, and undo some of these plays, maybe I would. But at the same time, it's fun to be a part of that, and I could afford it. Do I wish I had that, couple extra $1,000? Sure, that's fine. But in the meantime, we made some good gains. I took a little bit of the banker's money. I rolled the dice. I regret it, guys. When you see these manias happen, just meme coin manias, a lot of influencers come out there and say, you could turn 1,000 into 100,000. You could turn 1,000 into 1,000,000. That's a very rare case. Don't go get rugged, guys. Be careful. Do your research. Not to say it's not possible. Not to say you're not going to find the next bonk. But if you're chasing the next bonk, you're probably going to lose some money. Be careful, guys.
Appreciate it, Crypto Kid. Awesome. Spot on. JB.
Yeah. Meme mania. Yeah. Thankfully, I didn't invite PSYOP. I did buy a few. In the crowd buy, I'm always preaching, do your own research. Make sure you read the white paper. Make sure it's not a rug. 99% of these meme tokens are rugs, the pump and dumps. And what do? Listen to a friend. Not once, twice. Bonex projects. You gotta buy this. You gotta buy this. Okay. Went up. Fair enough. Woke up the next day. Gone. Same person, second time round. Listen to her again. Gone. So learning from that, don't do it. I mean, even with you had loyal, you had the Ben tokens, you had all that craziness happening. I've got loyal tokens locked up. You win some, you lose some, but fortunately for me, I put in money that I was willing to lose. Not the biggest part, otherwise I'd have been really crying to this day, but it's still money lost, and you don't want to do that. So take a step back, listen to your own intuition. If it's wrong, read into it, it's not there, give it a pass. Stick to something with utility, stick to a solid token, legitimate websites, links, anything that advertises airdrops, free this, free that. No way. No, thank you. Not for me. It's not happening. Nothing's ever given for free. So don't expect it today or tomorrow. Stick to utility tokens. So learning from that, white paper it is, and make sure the team's doxed.
Spot on once again. We got the experience. Fifth gear.
Yeah, that's some really good advice from everyone. Absolutely fantastic. My painful play was not nearly as bad as some others, but I minted 5 Cronos cruisers. I can't remember what the mint price was, and I sold 4 of them for probably roughly 4,000, 5,000 Cro. Now the floor price is 18,000 Cro. Painful. Oh, does that hurt? Oh man, just rough. But anyways, with the whole FTX fiasco and all the regulatory compliance that crypto.com has, that's why I invest in crypto.com and the Cronos chain. It's huge for me because, as we all know, government always wins. You got to be compliant with rules and regulations and everything else. And I know some people are going to say that that's not what crypto's about, but I think the closer you are to following the laws of the countries you're doing business in, the better off you'll be. So that's why I'm huge into crypto, and that's why I'm huge into Cronos.
Spot on once again. How many millions did Binance had to pay to the US government? At the end of the day, mic dropped. Like, yeah, you can avoid as many laws or so as you can for as long as you want, but at the end of the day, they're coming for you, billions of dollars, and paid to the US government. It happens. Follow the law, and that's what we do, crypto.com. Mr. Wong.
Oh, biggest mistakes of 2023. Oh man, I would say it's not loading up more when Crow was 4 cents, like 4.6, 4.7. That was like the maximum pain, max fear, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, what is happening?" I should have just poured it on. You know what I mean? Just doubled up there and just stuck to my guns, and I didn't get in as heavily as I should have, because the dollar cost average mentality, you know what I mean, that's what we're still going to stick by, and it still works. Of course, you can't catch the tops, you can't catch the absolute bottoms, so that's kind of the safe bet. And what some of these rugs are kind of talking about is something that just doesn't happen in the bear market, but happens in the bull market as well, is just fake projects and rug pulls and layer 2 solutions, or airdrop tokens, fair launch, all this kind of stuff. And be very careful. Be very careful. Always have a separate seed wallet for these things. Never connect your main wallet to some of these YOLO projects. You really need to separate your risk tolerance assets into the wallets where they need to live. So your long-term storage should be in a seed phrase that is very secure, either a hardware wallet, something like that, something you're only adding to, not interacting with blockchain, doing smart contracts with. It's literally the cold storage and the long-term savings if you're putting into those buckets. And then your other wallets should be what you're interacting with projects, real projects, and stuff that's kind of like, oh, I'm unsure. you should have a wallet for the unsureness. So if that gets compromised, you're not losing huge assets, and always invest what you're willing to lose at this point is kind of the goal here. But yeah, for 2023, that was definitely my mistake there, is not catching Crow really at the bottom at the max pain, because we all felt it. We all felt the fear, and a lot of us really didn't pull the trigger right there at 4 cents. We're just like, oh man, like what's happening? And then Chris comes through with some compliance and has some news, and the market kind of recovers a little bit, and everything's good for Cronos at this point. Compliance is the game. Compliance.
And I still feel the fear. I mean, this community, they're trembling on Twitter, and
Oh,
there's
yeah.
haters everywhere, and it's interesting.
It's the sleeping giant. It's the sleeping giant, as I put it. I always say that. It's stable. It moves slow, but it moves slow and with like conviction, right? It doesn't just kind of fall off. It really just moves, and we're holding right there where we are today. Same thing at the 5 cent mark. When we rock it to 10, and we're kind of holding right here. And if you're not loading up here, when we hit 15, 25 cents, you're going to be saying the same thing I said at 4.
That's why I went all in. That's why I went all in. JB, you want to say something, JB?
Yeah. So remember one thing, Chris, our CEO is clean. Do you know what I mean? The leader, the top shotter, the top dog for crypto.com, he's clean, he's regulated, he's not convicted. Just speak volumes. If you want, go to a place where you're guaranteed surefire, follow the rules, the regulations, everything's safeguarded, crypto.com, in my opinion.
Well done. Well done. Everyone, let's conclude with our 2024 predictions. 2023 was crazy. The good, the bad, the best, the worst. That's over. Less than 48 hours is gone, cooked. Turn the page, 2024. What are we going to do? Let's go ahead and end with that. And I'll go ahead and start. 2024 predictions. It might sound repetitive at the end, right? Because I think that's what everybody's watching. But halving, rubles, regulation, more lawsuits, hopefully, because they're not going to go to crypto.com. That's for sure. Oh, how you doing, buddy? Happy to see you. Happy to see you. We're actually concluding and wrapping up, but thank you so much for coming in. Stay muted, and I'll get to you in just a second. So 2024 predictions, all of that, what I just said. The projects that we've been accumulating, I feel like they're gonna do decent plus. I don't want to say exploding all the way to 10x yet, because there's still some variables. What did we see 2023? Wars, everybody. That's something not many people are thinking about, right? Russia, Ukraine, and Israel and Palestine. Sadly, sad. That's sad. I know, that's completely sad. China, Taiwan, maybe. I mean, we just cannot predict that. And those are global conflicts that destroy trust, destroyed confidence in the market, and they make you sell. Obviously, for some people, they take it and they buy, but just what happens, right? So we just cannot predict what's going to happen this 2024, because guess what? Election year. The US is electing a new president. So that is going to be massive as well. So many variables right now coming up. If we have a new president, maybe it's Donald Trump, or maybe still Biden, or maybe someone else. Is he bullish on Bitcoin? Is she or he bearish on Bitcoin? Like, so many different variables, right? More countries going to adopt. So all of that, if you put it in one package, going to be much better than we are right now. When it comes to market prices and the predictions as for Bitcoin and Cronos, that's what we're buying right now. There's a multitude of different challenges ahead. I think we're going to be reaching 100 million users easy, crypto.com, as the price kind of grows, and the value of total value locked from the 40 to 50 billion that we have right now, that has to be going back to the 100 plus billion. So I'm bullish, excited. And what I did in 2023, baby, it's nothing compared to what's coming up this new year. That's mine. we're saying that we already finished with the 2023 recap. We're doing the 2024 and predictions. Crypto Kid.
Yeah, thanks, Oscar. No, I think some of the points you made are great. There's always the chance of a black swan event, folks. And I've been stressing it a lot on the channel. The buy the rumor, sell the news event could be very real with the spot Bitcoin ETF coming out. If that dip happens, I mean, my plan, I've said it before, is I'm going to continue to buy through fall of 2024 because I believe in the 4-year cycle. There's going to be a lot of great ecosystems in this bull cycle that are going to thrive. There's been a big Solana narrative. Now there's been a narrative of, can Avalanche be the next Solana? And now you talked about Cardano. In general, guys, one thing I like to think about is a lot of people don't understand this. When you talk about chains and layer 1 solutions and layer 2 solutions, picture cryptocurrency as an ocean. And within this ocean, there's a bunch of islands. There's the Bitcoin island, there's the Ethereum island, there's the Solana island, there's the Cardano island. These are the different chains. On these islands, people can build different shops. On Bitcoin, now there's decentralized exchanges. People are finally building on Bitcoin, which is already the biggest island. People are starting to build on it. That's why I'm so bullish on ordinals. On Ethereum, that's been around for a while. You've already got Uniswap on it and all the different protocols on Ethereum, Compound, Aave, all the different things, Maker on Ethereum. Now Solana's hot. There's going to be a lot of really great plays within these ecosystems. So I just want everybody to remember, as bullish as we all are on Cronos, there is a whole world of crypto. There's a variety of islands and the infrastructure on those islands that you can invest in. That's what we do when we talk about all these different chains. Now, when this spot Bitcoin ETF comes out, I think that these major investors are going to start investing in these infrastructures being built on these islands. And I think there's going to be massive, massive upside. I'll give a quick prediction on Bitcoin. I think that in 2024, we're going to break our previous all-time high, no problem. I don't think we're going to see the peak of the cycle. I don't know if we necessarily break $100,000 in 2024, but I think we could see at least $80,000 in 2024 at some point. I think that's reasonable. And for Cronos, I'd love if we can crush $1 in 2024. I'm not necessarily expecting it, but if we can, that would make me feel really good for that $2 to $5 prediction that I've been throwing out consistently. And I throw that out there because I look at the valuation of crypto.com versus Binance, two of the major exchanges in the world. Crypto.com has better regulation and compliance that we all know of. They both have their own chain, the Binance Smart Chain versus the Cronos Chain. Cronos Chain was launched in the beginning of a bear market. It still has its yet to get some adoption. Very, very bullish on that. I'd love to see $1 Crow in 2024 and an 80K Bitcoin in 2024.
Appreciate that, Crypto Kid. Spot on. We're bullish. JB.
In my opinion, Bitcoin, I see 100,000, maybe 150. If the momentum carries, I can see it going there. Ethereum, where it stands now, about 4 to 5. I think we will see some all-time highs hit in tokens. Cronos, $1 day in, day out. As soon as people realize exactly what a wonderful token that is, that's one that if it hits $1, then I can see it crossing $1, $1.50, maybe even $2. Like you said, 2024, maybe coming into 2025. Yes, by 2025, I would like to see Crow at least $2. I don't see why not. Everything's all clean, everything's all clear, the FUD, everything's gone. You will see quite a lot of your Corgi AI that'll pop off again, I reckon. The Croid, I reckon that will come up as well. Tonic, love Tonic. That is one of those, goes against the grain sometimes. If you watch it, if you see the markets, when they're red, you'll see, oh, Tonic's up. Don't know why, but it's up. It's doing something magical's happening behind the scenes. So I do see Tonic making a good solid pump. Can't predict what number it'll hit, but it'll hit it'll make everybody happy, that's for sure. In terms of other personally, like I said, I can see this player coming in. This will be big. This, in my humble opinion, easy $300, $500 plus. But let's bring it on. I think we're talking so much, we won't be able to sleep tonight or go for, we'll be buzzing. Who needs coffee when you got crypto?
There you go, brother. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Fifth gear.
Yeah, Oscar, I think you hit on a couple of points. I think there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. There's a lot of wars, a lot of tragedy, and hopefully the world can get over that. But I think inflation is definitely still an issue for sure, especially in the United States. And I think you have the election, and I think depending on who gets elected, not trying to be political here, but I think if a Trump or a Vivek or another Republican gets in, I think you're going to really see Bitcoin and all these other coins explode. And I would fully expect the VVS token to erase a zero. I would expect Crow at a little bit over a buck. I think that's a good, fair, real expectation. I think 93 cents was the all-time high. I think a little bit over a buck is reasonable. I think Tectonic is going to get rid of at least 1 0. Vino minted. I think these are all coins that are going to do fantastic in 24 when that altcoin season really, really hits hard. So, yeah.
Appreciate that a lot, Fifth Gear. Thank you so much. Mr. Wong, 2024.
Oh wow. Okay, we kind of already touched a lot on this already. It's Bitcoin and the approval and the news right here in the beginning of the year. Just to speak a little bit of numbers and kind of put things in perspective of where Bitcoin actually is today in the market, right? So Bitcoin is what, 830 billion, right under a trillion. And so the whole stock market as a whole value there is about 110 trillion total, right? So we're barely 1% scraping the total market value of what's on the exchange and what's being handed over, right? And if you compare Bitcoin to gold, which it's often compared to, gold is, I just Googled that, right? So gold is right around 13.9 trillion, which is about 10% of the whole market cap right there. So if Bitcoin is to expect to kind of be comparable to gold, or at least on par with gold, or not necessarily better, right? Where you can see here where we're going with this 10-20x from here easily in just Bitcoin alone, like just the market cap going to 20 trillion, somewhere around there. When the big boys step in, when regulation is finally said, this is how it's done, right? That's what we're waiting on. When big money starts really stepping in, this is when we're going to see Bitcoin really rocket off. And what the analogy I kind of use for where Bitcoin is going to fall is it's going to price out the middle class, right? So say the middle class is somewhere earning between, 80,000 and 150, 160K a year. It will end up somewhere slightly above that, where people will be hesitant to kind of put that kind of money into Bitcoin as they are now at this, 60K mark where we should be after this FTX and all this other stuff in the market. But that's kind of how the narrative is going to kind of play out. And that's kind of how the stock market also kind of has a role in this as well, is big money is going to win. When big money steps in, they're going to win. And the fear that we're going to see right here at the beginning of the year is everybody kind of call it the bear trap. But we're going to see a dip in the market where people are going to be like, ooh, well, we're not really sure. It could go, both ways here. Some people are going to pull out. Some people are going to miss the boat. And that has to happen for the market to move as well, right? Not everybody can win at this. There are going to be some people that are going to be unsure. And, we've seen this, like I said, in the last 3 cycles that I've lived through, right? It's kind of the same narrative. Every time it goes to the next tier where it's 30K, that's a lot of money to buy a whole Bitcoin. And people don't really think about, I can buy a little bit at a time. They're like, oh, 30K, I'm never going to get a whole Bitcoin. It's dollar cost averaging and stick to the real projects. And that's the narrative for 2024 is wait for the money to flow into the compliance or regulated coins and assets, Bitcoin and Ethereum right here as a spot ETFs come out in January. And then once that happens and kind of sets the foundation, we'll see the alt season just boom, probably late 24. So my prediction is still load up on Crow. I think we're lucky to get Crow at this price, and I think we're all going to be shooting ourselves in the foot when it's $1, 10, and be like, what was I doing at 10 cents again? You know what I mean? So don't say that. So like I said, invest what you can afford to lose. And if everything goes as planned in the start of January of 24, we should see very good things for the future of Bitcoin.
There it is. Many people are bullish. No reason why not. If they're going all in, why shouldn't we? Christopher Noble, welcome, cowboys are here. Give us please a quick intro about you and tell us your 2024 predictions.
This is awesome. So first things first, Oscar, thank you so much for having me on. It's awesome. We've been watching for so long. We're running around in the same circle all the time. So seeing the community continuing to grow, seeing what you're doing for the community and championing that, kudos to you, man. I think you definitely deserve the credit for that. You got some amazing candidates and guys up here that are speaking some really valuable gems. This is the stuff that's behind the scenes. This is the nitty gritty. This is what's really going on in the trenches. Personally, myself, I am an engineer. I own an IT company in the real world. I also own Crowboy Labs, which is a subsidiary of that. We essentially build Web3 technologies, but particularly specializing in gamification. So we're really excited because I have a different approach looking from a developer's point of view. I look at infrastructure. So, I really look at what can this infrastructure actually withhold? I look at the pressure points. I look at where's the breaking points, and I look where the lows and the highs are, and then try to find the middle ground. So as I'm really looking, I look at BNB. I've started in 2015 in Ethereum, just doing simple mining stuff. Jumped in 2018 into the non-fungible side of things. And really what I've been seeing is honestly this trend of this growth. And it has been moving in a very particular direction, but it really was stagnant for a while. And the reason why is because I think a lot of people figured out, like, okay, the hype behind this is great. This is incredible. But where is it really going? Where's the use case going? And I think we're finally starting to see that. The pain points that Sandbox and Decentraland, and at least speaking from my realm of what I understand, at first we're really looking for product market fit. Really what was missing from this industry was professionalism. A lot of people are used to seeing like the Deegan mentality. And as that started to come out, people started to get a little bit wary. They wanted to protect their bags. If we're going to be open to real investors and real VCs and these companies that have really built a name for themselves in Web 2, we kind of have to lead by example. So, being able to be in the front and say, hey, listen, in this industry, there is product market fit. There is a value proposition. There is a strong cost benefit analysis that could be said for this. There is making sure that, you have the infrastructure to onboard these things. When I look at what CDC is doing, how could you not be impressed? How can you not say, hey, you're solidifying yourself as a B2B. You're not just looking for a quick bag and consumers. You're transparent in your operations. You have an infrastructure that can onboard billions of users overnight if need be. There's nobody else that's set up for that. Even Coinbase, I will argue, is not set up for that. Even BNB, they have a lot of hurdles that they would have to overcome to be able to tackle this Western market. There's a lot of stuff that you look at that, macroeconomics has become very politicized in the last 10 years. So, a lot of will argue that it's a pseudoscience now. It really isn't concrete. Is when you look at the microeconomics and you start to really break this down, utilizing what, you hear Elon and a lot of the great minds champion this, which is first principle thinking. So as an engineer myself, I look at first principle thinking. The most obvious answer is often the one that's right in front of you. Obviously we have the gravitas in making this all spectacular and saying, oh, look at this and look at this. But what are you building? And I love the concept that Kip said too. We're building all these islands here, and all these islands, what's going to inevitably happen is what's happening in technology is people saying we're moving towards singularity. You're going to see people start to niche down. Branding is going to be everything. We're moving towards being our own brands. In the future, a lot of people predict we won't even be working for others so much as working for ourselves because we'll already have employees. Technology is an employee. These bots and everything, whether it's software or hardware, are employees. You're seeing this adoption come more and more and more. So what's that mean for the market? That means utility. That means use case. That means you don't need to find an audience in every single circle. You just need to find your audience. And if you niche down and you plant your feet in the ground firmly and you start to lead with value instead of expecting value, looking for problems and then simply offering solutions and then letting that compound. That's the beauty. As Warren Buffett likes to say, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Be greedy when, be fearful, obviously when people are being greedy, and be greedy when people are being fearful. So in this particular case, I do see Crow going to $1 beyond a shadow of a doubt. I do see Bitcoin hitting 100,000 beyond a shadow of a doubt. I do think that people are headhunting Ethereum right now. I'm looking at all these chains as being a developer who's building some of this technology. We can see where that's moving. So we see that what AVAX is doing. We can see what Solana's doing. We can see what Polygon. So we can see what a lot of these guys are doing. but they don't have that magic element that CDC has, in my personal opinion, which is real world infrastructure, which is a business model that is sustainable, keyword. And not only is it sustainable, but it's scalable. And so when you're able to do that, when you're able to build these connections with these big brands and your names on stadiums and your names in the UFC and you're all over, you're now looking at something that is like a tree. And if you look at a tree, you know, what you see above ground is just this beautiful thing. But if you look underground, trees' roots can extend for, you know, I mean, to infinity. You could see the infrastructure is always so much bigger under what you're actually looking at. So to be quite honest with you, I'm very, very bullish on 2024. I think 2024 is going to be an amazing year because more developers are coming out. I love the fact that there's competition. I love the fact that in the beginning, you know, when I worked as an engineer in the music industry, a lot of people were worried, oh, what's going to happen with Napster and everything that was going on. People were scared, big labels and companies, that people were coming in saying, okay, well, now people can build these studios at home, micro studios. What was that going to do to the industry? People were fearful of that. It ended up being a plus because then we had the birth of social media. You know, if you're old like me, you remember MySpace. So, you know, at the end of the day, it was like remembering what it was like to build these individual brands and watch them start to bloom into these amazing organizations. Being able to have conversations like this with each other is the future. You know, being able to say, hey, we finally have a platform where we can express ourselves, weirdos, unks, chumps, and punks. It doesn't matter what walk of life you come from. And that's the beauty of this. You find your community, you find your tribe, and you go get it and stay true to yourself. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. Thank you so much, sir.
Appreciate that a lot. You know, having the brains of a developer, of an engineer with a lot of experience, and we had shared some Twitter spaces before, and I think you bring so much value to the industry, to Cronos, and we are honored to have people like you here. Everyone, we have come to the end of our first ever, but I'll call it recap of this year and predictions of 2024. If you're still here watching and want to see us do another one, well, let me know in the comments down below. Please give it a plus and a clap to all of our guests right now. Crypto Kid, Mr. Wong, Christopher, Fifth Gear, and JB. If you want to be a part of this, well, either join the Discord, group Patreon, join the $1 Crow Party group, or just be a stud on crypto and Twitter, and I'll be able to see you there to invite you as well. Thank you so very much for coming in and sharing your thoughts. 1 hour and 30 minutes. Can you believe that? Time passes by flying when you have fun, and I hope this was valuable for some of you guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll put some of the links of our guests in the description down below and help us spread this message out, but because it's just barely starting. I'll see you next time, everybody. Take care. Peace. Let's grow.